Hi guys, so welcome to today's episode. We're on week 2. Sorry for the really funky introduction here, but one of our camera lenses broke while we were filming the introduction. So instead we're just going to get right into it. This week we wanted to invite you guys over with us to help us decorate our home for Christmas and maybe go over a little bit of the traditions and the things that we've established over the last 7 years in preparation of becoming parents. But before we really get into that, first our promised makeover of the Cash for Christmas wish basket. With a little bit of an update where we're at for Cash for Christmas, starting with a new and improved gift basket. We'd like to reintroduce you to our little gift basket, which is going to have pride of place for the rest of the season right here underneath the Christmas tree.
Kobe decorated it up beautifully.
Well, thank you, darling. So this is going to have some new occupants. We actually have received not one, but 3 donations. We were very shocked by this. 3 donations in our very first week to the gift basket. We've got 3 Christmas presents. And we did not expect them to be so literal. But people actually literally did what we suggested. So the first one is, as we suggested, a literal rolled up wad of cash with a bow around it. And then the second one, also as we suggested, was a literal jar of change with a bow around it. And the third and final donation from our nieces is this adorable firecracker looking gift. So we are going to have fun opening these on Christmas morning. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. And as you may have already noticed, our little blue thermometer has gone crazy over these new additions. So we just wanted to take a minute real fast to talk about our red thermometer real fast. So as you can see where we already are, this is actually an accurate representation, our savings-wise, of where we are on our way to our goal. And a fun story, so the way that this happened is while designing the graphics for the thermometers, I put in at random lines, measurement lines across the top that counted out and turned out to be 15. So when we took our actual whole amount, our goal of 2,500, and divided it out, broke it up into 15, we actually ended up with almost exactly the amount we already had set aside in our savings account. So what you're looking at is actually 1/15 of what we need. So we are there. And if you want the actual total amount, it'll be down here for a short while. And if you have any more questions regarding our red thermometer or our blue, we encourage you guys to ask us those questions, type them down in the comments, or text them to us in person, however you want to ask those questions. Now that we've had an opportunity to get that update out of the way, let's get right back into the really fun stuff, which is decorating for Christmas. So this is the area that we've managed to clear out for our Christmas tree. As you can see, and we've got our Christmas stuff nice and open and ready to go. Say hi, Robert.
Hi, Robert.
He thinks he's funny.
Alright, we're gonna start decorating it now, and while we do that, we wanted to tell you a little bit about our Christmas traditions, as well as share a little bit with you about some of our decorations. But before we get into that, we left off a little early last week. We wanted to tell you about our backup plan, which is independent adoption. This wasn't really a viable option for us until we talked to Stephen and Megan. Stephen has offered to help us out with the legal end of things, and because of that, it makes it so we will be less prone to pitfalls if we do try independent adoption. Most of the time, they don't recommend that people who are adopting for the first time use this method because it is prone to pitfalls. But where we've got the help, we think we can get along all right in it. That being said, we are going to need help finding a child to adopt. So if you hear about anybody who wants to have their child adopted, please let us know. We'll also need money for a home study, which we can get from the money we're collecting this year for Christmas. So we aren't going to change that plan at all, even if we have to go down this route.
As for our family traditions, I get to tell you guys about our Christmas tree. So, we actually have two traditions with the Christmas tree. The first one is the bows that we are putting on them. Those are a personal Christmas present from Robert's mother, who passed away recently, and they go on our Christmas tree every year, and they've been on our tree since before she left us, but it's always been a strong reminder to us about family and the importance that family plays in our lives, especially around this time of year. And the second tradition is that every year on Christmas Eve, we sit down together as a family and we watch Muppets Christmas Carol. And then, as soon as we're done watching the film, we will turn all the lights off in the house except for our Christmas lights, and especially our Christmas tree lights, and we'll sit on the floor around our Christmas tree and we'll sing hymns and Christmas carols together before we go to bed. And again, it's just an emphasis on how important family is to us. It's something that we do to spend time together and to bring the spirit into our home and the spirit of the holiday into our lives a little bit stronger right before Christmas comes. It's so that we can emphasize how important Christmas is to the birth of our Savior and the reason for the season, rather than focusing on the fact that in the morning we're going to get gifts or opening a Christmas Eve present or anything like that. This is more just our time, us together as a family, and it really hypes up the season without being materialistic.
Okay, now I'm going to introduce you to the most peculiar of all of our Christmas decorations.
It's adorable, not peculiar.
It's kind of original to us. I guess you could call it an ornamental wreath. It used to be one of my dad's old Advent wreaths, and when I was thinking about this earlier, it kind of has something on it to represent every member of our family. It's, like I said, it's Dad's old Advent wreath, and Mom kind of showed me when I was a kid how to turn an unlit Christmas tree into a pre-lit Christmas tree, and I use the same method here to make it so that the wreath lights up. The skates hanging in the middle were Corey's when she was a little girl. She's my oldest sister, for those of you that don't know. And the next sister, Ellie, was the one that bought the ornaments, well, most of them anyway. She got them for a project that she did in a speech class demonstrating how to decorate a Christmas tree. This Nutcracker one really, to me, kind of represents me and my brothers, because when we were kids, we used to compete to see who could get our ornament highest on the tree, and Steven, my oldest brother, had a Nutcracker ornament, and I remember one year I tried to get my ornament higher than his little Nutcracker. I went in after everybody was already done decorating the tree, and I tugged down on a branch, and the entire tree just came down on top of me. There were bulbs crashing everywhere, and the entire family rushed in to find me underneath the tree on the coffee table. But yeah, so that's pretty much all of us. There's also this little candy cane here, and I'm gonna let Kobe explain more about that.
Here's the candy cane that Robert was talking about. It's really hard to see, all the writing is kind of smudged, but there on the end it has a date, and the date is 2013. So the story behind this candy cane is really kind of a little bit sad. Our very first year as husband and wife, we decided to do a lot of our decorating with candy canes all over the tree, all over the bushes, all over wherever we could put them. And of course, once this holiday season ended, we gathered up all the candy canes, collected them in a pile, and we tried to eat them later and put everything away. The next Christmas, lo and behold, in the middle of our wreath in those ice skating boots, we find a candy cane that we happened to miss. It was the only one, so neither one of us wanted to eat it, obviously, for health and safety reasons. So instead, we just wrote our first Christmas on it, put it back from whence it came, and yeah, it's been 7 years later. Now it's still in the boot. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed our magical little journey through our winter wonderland.
Winter Wonderland!
And helping us decorate our house this magical holiday season. We're, as always, extremely grateful for all the help, all the support, and all the love you give us, and all the time you take to watch our pradlings. So we will be back with you next weekend. Hope to see you guys in person before then. Love you guys.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.